So you started a print-on-demand shop, you uploaded a bunch of designs and items that you're really excited about, and now you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen, and it seems like it's crickets. I see this happen way too often with new sellers getting really excited about print on demand and then being very discouraged and disappointed about the lack of traffic, views, and sales that they are actually getting. Now, this really doesn't have to be the case with new sellers. In fact, I have a number of students who start shops and within the very first few weeks, they are really skyrocketing. And within their first few weeks, they are actually getting real traffic and sales consistently. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you the 5 best tips that you can implement today to actually make a huge difference in just a few weeks. By implementing some of these in 30 days, you really could see double or triple the sales in your shop. And none of these are really anything complicated or fancy. You just might not be doing them currently. So let's not waste any more time and just jump right into this list of tips. Now, in print on demand, especially on places like Amazon and Etsy, the amount of products you have listed in your shops is almost directly correlated with the number of sales that you are getting. Now, truly, the most successful sellers on Etsy and Amazon, those who are making 6 figures a year, who have taken this business full time, if you go to their shops, you will see that typically they have in the thousands of products listed. Now, that doesn't mean that to make real money, you're going to have to instantly have over 1,000 products. But if you are sitting with maybe 20 to 50 products in your shop, that is a huge indicator that the very first thing you should do to actually increase your sales is increase the number of products. Now, my rule of thumb is I tell all new sellers, really don't worry about even making a single sale until you have over 100 listings. I know that number sounds really daunting, but it's kind of the amount that you need to really get that traction going in your shop. And no, it's not a magic number. The day that you hit 100 listings doesn't mean you're going to get your very first sale if you haven't already, but that allows there to be enough listings out there that your products can actually get seen. Now, one thing a lot of new sellers don't realize is that the majority of all of the listings that you ever make probably aren't going to sell. Even with thousands and thousands of products listed on multiple different platforms, I only sell a small percentage of all of those. So if you only have about 25 different products listed, if you're only going to sell between 1% and 5% of those, that doesn't give you a very high chance to actually have a bestseller on your hands. But once you get over 100 products, even if you're only selling 1% to 5% of them, that means you have enough mass to actually start getting some sales. Now, the best way to start really ramping this up, I truly think, is by picking some daily upload number that you are going to aim for and just sticking with that every single day. Now, for the first couple of years of my business, my number was 10 different designs and uploads, and I truly would do that almost every single day. And I really credit that with helping me really scale my business pretty fast. Now, that might not be a number that you are able to achieve, so I highly suggest picking anywhere from 2 to maybe 10 different uploads that you know you can get done in a single day and kind of sticking with that over a 30-day or more period. So even if you are just uploading 3 designs every single day, by the end of just 1 month, you're going to have almost your 100 designs listed. So pick the number that you know that you can do and take the time to research a really good niche, make good designs, and then upload those every single day like clockwork. Now, if you are having a little bit of trouble with the actual research and design process of this, you are really stuck knowing what kind of things are going to sell well, I highly recommend signing up for my free workshop that is all about niche research. This goes really in depth in the whole process of things you can do when you just don't have any ideas or know where to start. It's a little under an hour long, and if you sign up down below, I'll send you all of the details and how to watch into your inbox, along with a bunch of other free resources that I made just for you guys. Now, the next thing you really can do in the next month to seriously increase your sales is to run a sale in your shop. Now, if uploads really aren't your problem, you have a ton of listings, but you're just struggling to actually get eyeballs and views, I really want to recommend doing some kind of discount in your shop. Now, Etsy has specifically told us that the over 20% discount will get more traction than just a 10% discount. But I found that even running a 10% discount on my shop or certain products really helps get that traffic up. Now, this is really easy to do over in your Etsy dashboard. You just go over to the left-hand side. Under marketing, you can click to run a sale, and you just pick what percentage you want off of your listings. You can do just a select few, or you can do your entire shop this way. But when you run a sale, this is going to be prominently featured in the thumbnail when people are scrolling. So if someone looked up something like cute teacher mug, if you have a teacher mug that is on sale, people are going to see that right under the name of the item. So it really can help you not only get clicks, but actually convert sales, because people love feeling like they are getting a deal. Now, definitely make sure when you are running sales that your items are priced in a way that you can still be making profit. I don't want you to be running sales and getting lots of traction and orders, but then be walking away making only pennies. So make sure you're using some kind of profit calculator that can let you know how much you're actually going to make when you do put items on sale. The one that I use is from the tool Sale Samurai, which is a all-around Etsy tool, but this is just one of the things that you can do with them is calculate your profit. So I will link them down below. Now, with running sales, there are a few different ways that you can do this, but the one that I found to be the most successful in actually converting customers and really increasing sales is running limited time sales. Now, if you wanted to increase your profits in a month, some people might just put a sale that runs either a week long or maybe even a month long. And this will definitely help you, but it's not going to have the urgency that this other strategy will. And that is running sales for just a day or two. Now, you can put the time that you want to run any sale. So I highly suggest just doing a sale for a day or two, because when people are shopping, instead of saying something like, oh, 6 weeks left to get this sale or 6 days left, it is going to say something like only 8 hours left for this discount. So then that really turns up the urgency for shoppers if they feel like, oh, I really like this shirt, but I don't want to come back and order it later because this only has a few hours left and then I want to get it on sale. Now, if it said something like 6 or 7 days, they might put it in their cart or just keep scrolling around because it doesn't seem urgent for them to actually convert to a sale. So one thing that I typically do is every morning I'll kind of check my Etsy and then either turn on a sale or make sure my sales from the day before are still going. So that is just something you can get in the habit of doing, is starting new sales that are honestly just the same as you have been running, but just starting those at different intervals for shorter amounts of time than maybe you have been doing previously. Now, one of the next best things that you can do to really skyrocket your sales in just a few weeks is going to be increasing the amount and variation of products that you are actually selling in your shop. Now, the manufacturing partner that I use to sell on Etsy, you guys have probably heard me talk about so many times, and that is Printify, just because they have such a huge catalog of products for a really competitive price. But I see a lot of new sellers really getting stuck in a rut with just making items on a product or two that they've seen everybody else doing. So there is totally nothing wrong with just selling your standard t-shirt or sweatshirt. In fact, I probably make the most sales on those types of products. But a lot of times, if you really want to try something new, you can venture into either a new product type or something that's maybe a little bit less competitive. So some of the ones that I've seen new sellers just forego those typical products completely and only sell these and do super well are things like candles, which you can get on Printify and customize the labels. You can do really fun things like for teacher gifts or appreciation gifts, different awareness days. Those make great niches for candles. Or you could sell something like the really trendy glass straw cups that have like those bamboo lids. I actually have a full tutorial of how to make those here, but really kind of scrolling through Printify's catalog and finding some items that you've maybe not thought of selling before can really be a boost to your sales. Now, if you do specifically have a niche or a product that has been selling well for you, but on something like a t-shirt, there is no reason why you can't just take that exact same design or niche and put it on several other different product types. That's instantly one way to kind of increase your sales is by getting your best-selling items on more than just one thing. You've already done the work to validate that this is a good niche. Now you can capitalize it by spreading it out to more different eyeballs. I actually have a video that goes over some of my top product picks for new sellers, so I'll link that right here as well if you want to check that out. Now, the next tip to increase your profit in sales is kind of counterintuitive, but it's one of the tips that I give over and over to new sellers because they aren't doing it. And that is actually increasing the prices on your items. I know it seems like if you really want to get eyeballs on your things, you want to lower the price. I even talked about running a sale, but running a sale doesn't mean that your items have to be priced making no profit. So I see way too many sellers, they are trying to be the most competitive in the market. They're trying to price their items as low as possible. And the problem with this is two things. One, there is always someone who is going to be able to sell something a little bit cheaper than you. So you are just racing to the bottom if you are competing on the lowest price. And the other reason I find that this doesn't really work in new sellers' favor is sometimes when people are buying a gift, they want to make sure it's something nice, and people truly are shopping doing price comparisons. So if they see that your item is kind of the lowest price out there, they might skip around it. And same thing with the highest price items. They don't want to spend the highest amount, so they're really looking for kind of that median price point that they feel like they're kind of getting a deal, but it's not the cheapest thing out there. A lot of times people equate the price of the item with the quality of it. So even if someone is selling a Bella and Canvas shirt for $14 and another person is selling that for $19.99, a shopper might equate the $19.99 one with being a little bit nicer of an item, even if it is the exact same thing. So we can kind of use the psychology of that in our advantage and make sure we are priced kind of the middle of the road. I definitely suggest in any product you're selling, you take a look at some of the first pages on Etsy and Amazon and see what other people in this niche are selling their items for. And don't be the bottom price, don't be the top. Somewhere in the middle is definitely that sweet spot. And if you haven't been doing this before, I still truly believe that ending your items in things like 99 is just a comfortable number for buyers. So instead of maybe pricing your item at something like $19.53, because that's going to give you an exactly 40% profit margin, raise that number to $19.99, and that just seems more of a legitimate price to a shopper. But not only will changing your prices hopefully make buyers more comfortable buying your items, it's going to help get the profits of your store up. If just by making a few changes, you can make a couple extra dollars per sale, that is going to be huge in the long run. So examine your prices and make sure they are in a good range for the niches you are selling in. Now, the next tip is one that can be huge and getting a ton of new people to actually visit your shop and convert into paying customers. And that is going to be running select ads. Now, I don't mean going out there and starting a complicated Facebook or Google ad campaign. I just mean either on Amazon or Etsy, running the ads that are already integrated into their platform, but not on every single product. Now, this is where a lot of new sellers get really tripped up and can actually waste a ton of money, is by just running ads on everything in their store. Now, when you are newer, you are not as experienced in knowing what products really are optimal for converting into sales. So what I highly suggest is taking an inventory of your whole shop and noting any products that have ever made sales. And if they have made sales before, I would consider running ads on those products. So this could even be something just like 4 or 5 different products that you've gotten sales on, but just go ahead and start running ads on those because you know that they've been validated organically. People are searching for the title or the description that you have. People like this design because they actually purchased it. So you've already done a lot of the validation that if you put money behind something like this, there would be other people potentially interested in buying it. Now, if you do it with a product that has never sold before, maybe you have a design that you don't realize just isn't great. And so you're going to waste a lot of money with people looking and clicking on this item, and then they examine the design and maybe they don't love it. So by just running ads on the products that have sold, you are taking a lot of the guesswork out of it. Now, later down the road, when you are ready for maybe some more advanced advertising techniques, you could implement some newer products or products that haven't sold yet. But especially if you are a beginner, only run ads on the products that have made sales so far. But that can really skyrocket your sales. And you don't have to do a crazy budget either. You can just even down to just $1 a day to run ads, and that can still get you a ton of traction and a ton more views on your products. Now, again, if you've never tried selling on Etsy before, you're going to need a manufacturing partner that is going to take care of everything from storing, printing, packing, shipping your item, and who has a huge catalog. So like I said, I use Printify. They are some of the lowest priced out there, and they always have amazing quality. They have great customer service as well, and they integrate seamlessly with your Etsy shop. I have a full tutorial of how to actually link them with Etsy here, but if you've never signed up for an account, I will link all their information down below so you can get started completely for free and be able to sell on Etsy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.